All right, so we're diving into this children's workbook
Okay.
called Before and After.
Yeah.
And it's all about, figuring out which number comes before and after a given number.
Yeah,
Pretty simple, right?
that's pretty simple.
But I have a feeling that we're going to uncover some hidden depths to this.
Absolutely. I think you're right.
Okay, good.
This seemingly, basic exercise actually lays the groundwork for some pretty important math skills.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
The book has sets of numbers like A5, 3, 7, 2, 20.
Right.
And then it gets even trickier with sets like 82, 58, 60, 81, 75, 63.
Sure.
So what's going on here?
Well, what's fascinating is that by figuring out those before and after numbers, kids are starting to develop what we call number sense.
Number sense.
Yeah.
I've heard that term before, but I'm not sure I totally get it.
Yeah. So think of it like this number sense is an intuition for numbers.
Okay.
It's about understanding how numbers relate to each other, not just, memorizing their order. Like knowing that 7 is closer to 10 than it is to 1, even if you're just starting to learn your numbers.
Okay, so it's about seeing the connections between numbers, not just seeing them as individual things.
Exactly. It's like having a mental map of the number world.
Okay.
And this before and after exercise is like giving kids the tools to start building that map.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the book even has these personalized name fields on each page.
Right.
It seems like such a small detail, but
But those small details can make a big difference.
yeah.
It's about making the learning personal and giving kids a sense of ownership.
Right.
It's like saying, hey, this is your number journey.
That's such a cool way to put it.
Yeah.
It's not just a workbook. It's their own personal adventure with numbers.
Exactly. And as the number sets get more challenging, the book keeps kids engaged and wanting to learn more.
Yeah.
It's like leveling up in a video game, but instead of points, they're gaining valuable math skills.
So this simple workbook is doing a lot more than just teaching kids to count. It's helping them build a foundation for understanding how numbers work and even making it fun in the process.
Absolutely. And what's amazing?
What?
This kind of early learning can actually have a huge impact on how kids approach more complex math concepts later on.
Okay. I need to hear more about this.
Yeah.
How does understanding these before and after relationships prepare kids for things like addition and subtraction?
Well, imagine you're a kid and you're learning to add.
Okay.
You're basically moving forward along a number line, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you have a good grasp of number sequences,
Okay.
like knowing what comes before and after,
Right.
adding becomes more intuitive. You already have a sense of where numbers fit on that mental number line
Oh,
that
okay.
you were talking about.
So instead of just memorizing 2 + 3 = 5,
Yeah,
they actually understand the relationship between those numbers.
exactly. And the same goes for subtraction.
Okay.
It's about moving backward on that number line. And understanding number sequences helps them make sense of those movements.
Okay, I see how that works for addition and subtraction.
Yeah.
But what about more complicated stuff?
Yeah.
Does this before and after idea really help with things like fractions or even algebra?
You might be surprised.
Okay.
Even those more complex concepts build on the foundation of number sense. For example, understanding fractions involves recognizing the relationships between parts and wholes,
Right.
which ties back to understanding how numbers relate to each other.
So it's like this simple workbook is planting a seed
Yeah,
that can grow into a much deeper understanding of math.
precisely. It's amazing how something that seems so basic can have such a ripple effect. And don't forget,
Yeah.
the book does this in a way that's fun and engaging for kids.
Right.
Those personalized name fields, the increasing difficulty of the number sets.
Right.
It all contributes to a positive learning experience.
It's funny, as we've been talking about this, I've been thinking about how often I use number sequences in my own life without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Like when I'm cooking, I'm constantly checking the recipe
Right.
and measuring out ingredients in a specific order.
Yeah.
Or when I'm listening to music, I'm thinking about the order of songs on a playlist.
That's a great observation. We encounter number sequences everywhere, but we often take them for granted.
Yeah.
Think about telling time, counting money,
Right.
even just scrolling through your phone.
Right.
It all involves understanding the relationships between numbers.
Wow. You're right. It's like number sequences are woven into the fabric of our daily lives.
Exactly. And this seemingly simple workbook is helping children develop the skills to navigate those sequences with confidence.
Yeah.
It's giving them the tools to not just understand numbers, but to understand how they fit into the world around them.
It's like they're learning a secret language
Yeah.
that unlocks all sorts of possibilities. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the power of something as basic as figuring out what comes before and after.
It's amazing how those simple concepts can lead to such profound insights, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it really highlights the importance of early childhood education in shaping how we think and learn throughout our lives.
This has been a fascinating exploration.
Yeah.
We've gone from a children's workbook to talking about everything from fractions to the way we interact with the world around us.
Right.
Before we wrap up, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you find particularly remarkable about this before and after approach?
Well, what strikes me is how this simple activity encourages a way of thinking that's applicable far beyond math. Recognizing patterns and understanding sequences are fundamental to so many things we do.
Oh, yeah. You're right. We use those skills for everything from understanding music to, like, predicting what might happen next in a story.
Exactly. And that's why nurturing those skills early on is so powerful. It's like giving kids a key to unlock a deeper understanding of the world around them.
And this workbook does that in such a clever way. It's not just about memorizing numbers. It's about actively engaging with them, figuring out their relationships and building that mental map we talked about.
Yeah, and the personalized touch with those name fields, really reinforces the idea that this is about each child's individual journey of discovery. It's their own unique exploration of the world of numbers.
It's making me realize how important it is to make learning feel personal for kids, to let them explore at their own pace and celebrate their own unique ways of understanding things.
Absolutely. Every child learns differently, and fostering that sense of individuality is key to nurturing a lifelong love of learning.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me. We started with a simple children's workbook and ended up exploring some pretty profound ideas about how we learn and how those early experiences shape our understanding of the world.
It's been a fascinating journey for me, too, and I hope our listeners are walking away with a renewed appreciation for the magic that can be found in even the most basic learning activities.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that learning isn't just about acquiring information. It's about developing a way of thinking, a curiosity about the world, and confidence to explore new ideas.
Beautifully put, and I think that's a wonderful note to end on. So to our listeners, keep exploring. Keep asking questions and never stop being amazed by the patterns and connections you discover in the world around you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration.